3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. We live on YouTube. We live on Facebook. And, of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom. What's good, Bomb Squad? The team is back out there in full at practice, and we got some practice notes for you. It was a good one out there. They're picking it back up. They're picking up that momentum that they've had over the last 3 weeks, and we'll break it all down from .com and the Twitter world. Plus, in the roundup, slight injury scare, just a little bit. Also have an injury update, and the president himself, Zach Martin, has spoken, and he has the entire offensive line room, the entire offensive staff fired the hell up, just like I am today, this morning, with my guys and gals called the Bomb Squad, baby.
Bomb Squad!
How we feeling, huh? Hey, Swain, not Swain, my bad, I just saw Swain up there. Slim, I'm gonna need you on this one, Slim. You're gonna like this show. You're gonna like this show, man. You're gonna like this show. Look, if y'all want to call in today and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, you can. 351-999-3787 is the call-in line, and we can rap about what happened at practice. We can continue to rap about what happened out there on Saturday at AT&T Stadium. Again, they are ramping up, though, to prepare for the Seattle Seahawks on this upcoming Saturday night. And this is supposed to be the dress rehearsal game. However, we know that the Cowboys are not going to play a lot of these starters. That does not mean that some of these young bucks that are pushing this roster, as the title says, shouldn't go out there and get more reps and gain more confidence. So we got a whole lot to talk about today, Cowboys Nation, and I want to hear from you. With that said, y'all, Nature Boy.
Now that we've said hello, let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business, shall we?
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time.
It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you, Cowboys Nation. First up on the docket, some injury things to get through. Per Pat Walker, what's been going on with J. Lou? Well, here we go. Jordan Lewis has not suffered any setbacks in his recovery from the Liz Frank injury. He talked to Pat and told him, quote, he's able to do everything. He can run routes. He can do the cuts, speed runs, etc. He's ramping up his stamina. He's nearing a return once he's cleared medically. So just another guy, another depth piece to add to this defense. No, Cowboys Nation, I am still, yes, Eric Scott is playing well and all this stuff. I am still on the side of I am not trading or releasing or cutting Jordan Lewis for $4.5 million. Not doing it. He'd have to go out there and look like absolute dog poop for me to do that. I'm trying to win 6. And in trying to win 6, there's going to be adversity from an injury standpoint or a play standpoint. And I want some guys in that foxhole that's been around and has competed and played at a high level. Has J. Lou been an all-pro? No. But J. Lou has done good things in this with this defense, with this franchise, that you can say, hey, that veteran right there, I want in the foxhole if things get chippy and I need to throw somebody out there. So J. Lou inching his way back, but let's keep an eye on that, right? Because if it's a situation where they're okay with saying, hey, J. Lou, we don't need you early on, so we'll continue to keep you on the PUP list. That way we get 4 games to evaluate some of these other young corners. Or if he says, hey, I'm good to go, then damn it, you just start the season off with some bomb depth. And who's gonna cry about that? Nobody crying about that. So Jordan Lewis inching back closer to being medically cleared. Boy, hey, John Owning had a funny tweet yesterday. He said, all right, whose ass do I got to kick? So Michael Parsons, and if you read certain things, if you read certain articles, headlines, I get it, man. Clickbait is actually a part of journalism now. Like, it's a thing to where, hey, we want you to click the article. We're not going to lie too much on the headline, but we're going to make it clickable, right? So you'll hear this: Micah Parsons leaves practice early with an injury scare, right? Then you dig into it. Micah got kicked in the leg. He's fine according to those down there. Bullet dodged. So he did have his leg wrapped though. So maybe we can keep our eye on that situation as well. But we're talking about Micah. We're talking about the young lion. And I think he'll be fine. But he did leave the last 10, 11 plays of practice, the red zone period. So precautionary, right? When your best player gets kicked like that or gets nicked up, you better take precautions. And that's what they did. And then El Presidente, Zach Martin, his first day back, and he got right up in there. I mean, now he didn't participate in team drills or in the team activities, but he did the individual stuff. He did the kind of just walkthrough type of stuff. But Zach was out there. He addressed the media for the first time, and he had some quotes we'll read again here. Quote, he said, I never took anything personal during this whole thing. You got to realize when you make a decision like that to hold out, you're stepping into that arena that we talked about yesterday. You've got to play by their rules. It was a great experience for me, a learning experience, to sit across from a guy like that with all of the business savvy that he has. I can't say enough about him and the rest of the Jones family. He said there was some tough times, but there are no hard feelings. We're able to come to an agreement. And I was looking forward to get back out there. And the offense was elated to have him back out there, Cowboys Nation. McCarthy said that the offensive staff, when the news dropped, they erupted. The room erupted, a bunch of high fives and hugs and everybody excited to have him back, including his teammates. And why wouldn't you? Let me bring you back here. Terrence Steele talked a lot about Zach Martin over the years, but yesterday he got a chance to speak with the media as well. And he had a ton to say about him in regards to how Zach has helped him in his growth, where he helps him the most at, whether it be on the field, in the locker room. And he also talked about where he was at in his recovery and whatnot. And he's good to go. He's ready to go. He's 100%. And you can kind of see it out there at camp in some of these footages. Like he's back. And him being ahead of the schedule is great because we still have the depth issues that we're trying to work through. But that starting unit is something serious that it's a top 10 unit. Let's just be real, right? But having Zach, and he was going to be here, but having Zach here now, not having to worry about all the way up to the season and maybe you get some rust or whatever, we'll get all of that out at this moment. But here's Terrence Steele talking about Zach Martin and what's most important about having him back.
How do you and Zach get back up to speed? And it's been a while since you played and he's not been here.
It just comes down to reps. Just getting all the reps we can. Just trying to make it for a lost time. But we'll get it back. We already had a natural connection, so it shouldn't be hard to get back.
Yes, they did.
Where's he made a bigger impact for you, in the classroom or on the field whenever you get those teachings?
I would definitely say on the field. Just how we fit stuff, our doubles, in the pass game, just our sets, our set recording and stuff like that. So definitely on the field stuff.
He mentioned the doubles. He mentioned that chemistry on the field. And sometimes when someone's not around, you kind of forget, or in the off season, we don't really watch a whole bunch of the previous season's film because we're now into the, we're into preseason. We're into training camp. We got rookies. Oh, but let's not forget, Cowboys Nation. That chemistry on the right side is very, very real, and it's very potent. He talked about the duo. That duo block and that the combinations that they have, they just flow so damn well with each other, man. We saw a bunch of the duos on Saturday. If you didn't get a chance, go check it out. I don't know if it's on Game Pass or not, or just rewatch. You'll see the duo is a staple of this offense. It's here to remain. And a guy like Mike Solari coaching it up, I think, is actually going to be great. But Zach and Terrence Steele, to me, together in the run game, I mean, I don't know that you can name 5 better combinations on the right side. Seriously. I don't know that you can do it. And the film backs that up. The numbers back that up. If you want to be a great guy, go look at the right side when guys run over there. Go look at the offense when Zach is out or when Terrence is out. These two are extremely important to what you want to do on an offense side of the ball from a run game standpoint, right? Schottenheimer talked about being able to run the ball when you know they're going to run it. Or I know I can run the ball on that side when it's time to run a rock, and they know I'm going to run it, no matter who's back there. But they're also important from a passing game standpoint, Cowboys Nation. Like, Zach Martin and Terrence Steele not only are great as run blockers, but I still believe Terrence is extremely underrated from a pass protection standpoint, and he's getting better. By the way, he's getting better. But Zach Martin last year in over 600 pass snaps, 0 sacks given up, 2 quarterback hits. Terrence Steele, yes, he got hurt, but he played over 400 pass snaps. 1 sack given up against Detroit, ironically. 4 quarterback hits. We're talking about combined here. Combined. 1 quarterback sack, 6 quarterback hits on over 1,000 passing snaps. Allow me to put on the homer hat. Allow me to put on the bias hat. You can call me what you want to call me, man. I will put this duo up against anybody in the league. And yeah, there might be a few that might be better, but give me my guys. Give me the 6-time first-team All-Pro, 8-time All-Pro Zach Martin, and give me this young stud that's continuing to develop in everything in his game, and you're never going to outwork him in Terrence Steele. This is a true dynamic duo for the Dallas Cowboys, and it might not look sexy. You might not have a whole bunch of stats. It ain't touchdowns or nothing like that. But they are going to be extremely, extremely important to the Cowboys' success in 2023. I call Tyler Smith the linchpin, right? But I think these guys are going to be the heartbeat of how this offense flows this year. I truly do believe that, Cowboys Nation. Truly do believe that. We got a couple callers on the line. I'm going to let that continue to grow because I want to get to some of these practice notes. I'm burying the lead here, huh? I want to get to some of these practice notes right now. If you want to call in, 351-999-3787 is the call-in line, Cowboys Nation. I got you, Deshaun. I got you, 209. Give me a second, and we'll definitely rock. But I think it's very important to get to some of these notes because we'll talk about offensive line. We'll talk about that wide receiver room. We'll talk about what's happening on the pass rush and everything that we've heard down there. So let's get to it. This comes from .com, by the way, and we're probably going to be back and forth between .com and Twitter. And we start off with Zach Martin. He made his triumphant return to training camp on Tuesday, and he only got limited reps in team drills and mostly did a lot of the individual stuff as well. So he says don't expect to see Martin in the preseason, but getting him back is definitely made this team better, right? It's given a boost, a confidence to that room that has had a spotlight in the last 3 weeks. Now, I wanted to start off with that one because Zach Martin not getting first team reps in his first day back. Guess who got some of them things? TJ Bass, baby. TJ Bass got a few reps, and this comes from Nick Harris as well. Offensive guard TJ Bass getting a couple of reps at left guard with the ones in team drills today, and he meant right guard. So he meant on the right-hand side, as he should. I believe he earned those reps, right? He earned those from the game. He earned taking some of those reps away from number 75, which we'll get to here in a quick second. But I just want to let y'all know TJ Bass is on his way. He's on his way, right? And then, my bad for burying the lead. I had to get here. Jalen Tolbert wowed the crowd in Oxnard today with multiple athletic grabs, including one in the back of the end zone in 2-minute drills where he leaped over Eric Scott and somehow kept his feet in bounds for the score. Confidence is continuing to build day by day for the second-year pass catcher out of South Alabama. If you missed the catch, I mean, come on, man. It's just nasty, man. Slim, let me talk to you for a quick second, bro.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you for a quick second. I get on you. I get on you a lot when you say some crazy things. When you say a fifth round pick in Awesome Richards is going to be the next Eric Williams, or Jake Ferguson ain't shit. I get on you. I give you a hard time. But I gotta say, you brought this up to me like a week after camp. And I said, well, wait a minute, man. If this happens, let it be because he just going crazy. And I'm talking about this. You were very adamant in that you believe that Jalen Tolbert should be wide receiver 3, not Michael Gallup. I said, well, damn it, wait a minute. Let's let him get out there and push Michael Gallup. Let's let, if he's going crazy, fine, I have the conversation. If he's pushing Michael Gallup, fine, I have the conversation. Jalen Tolbert going crazy. He's going crazy right now, and he's pushing Michael Gallup. He had that catch of the day yesterday. We saw that not too long ago here on the show. It was showed off his athleticism that we saw at South Alabama, right? That go up and get it ability. We're starting to see his route running become better. It's improved. It's improved right alongside his confidence, because that was one of the main things that was shaken in his rookie year. The athletic ability was there, right? We talked about this coming into the season. It was always about can the other side of his game catch up to the athletic side? And it has. It absolutely has, man. And while, look, it's a given that he's going to be the wide receiver 4 on this team, I think that's done. That's a done deal, easily. I still want to see him out there this week. I'm going to go back on my word a little bit when I talked about, hey, maybe we can sit him down. Nah, I want to continue to see him build on that confidence just in case he's needed. Because we've seen over the last 3 years, that could be a possibility. So I would like to see him get some more reps out there with the Seattle Seahawks game. It doesn't have to be 33 reps or nothing like that, but get him some more catches. Get him out there in space. Let him get some contested ones, deep balls, come down with him, and continue to build on top of that, stacking good days on top of good days. But I know what y'all ready to say here, man. Sky, forget wide receiver number 4. I want him to come for wide receiver number 3. Look, I'm not ready to just say he wide receiver 3 yet. I will say that. Well, I'm going to give you your flowers. I'm going to give you your flowers on him pushing him, because he's definitely doing that. I'm not ready to say that's what he is yet, but here's what I'm going to say. And this is what my argument was before. This is wonderful. You want him to be pushing Michael Gallup. And you might be saying, well, Sky, he ain't pushing Michael Gallup. I don't know about that, bruh. I don't know about that. Michael Gallup believes he's pushing Michael Gallup. Here's Michael Gallup on Jalen Tolbert's progression and what he's seeing out there.
What can you tell us about Tolbert getting, more going this year in year 2? And then Turpin, we're seeing more highlights out there from Turpin. Are these guys going to show up on Sundays for you?
Oh, easily. Tolbert's came a long way. Last year, I mean, it was just, we kind of threw him in there. Yeah. He was just a little bit, shaking a little bit. But now it's just like he knows the whole offense from front to back. He can play any position he wants to, and he's a daggone good athlete. So I need to watch out for my job, to be honest. He's coming.
Yeah. He coming, And I thought that it would be next year. Not going to lie. I thought, and I still do believe that. Let me slow down. I still do believe that if Michael Gallup does not get back to Michael Gallup, he's definitely on the outs. Jalen Tolbert, if he shows off in the regular season, is wide receiver 3. Boom, we're good to go. But if Michael Gallup doesn't show that he's Michael Gallup first 4, 5, 6 games of this season, and he's worse off, right? Jalen Tolbert, I think, is going to get in there. Jalen Tolbert, I think, is going to get in there, man. As long as he carries this over into the regular season, right? That's it. And that leads me to, what are you talking about, get down or lay down? There's a handful of players, Cowboys Nation. Michael Gallup is one of them, and I'm not saying that Michael Gallup is going to just melt or whatever. But when you got these young guys pushing this roster, Either you get down or you lay down.
It's going to be players y'all going to get down and lay down.
And this is what you want. This is what I meant the other week when I said, is this the most competitive roster? Because these dudes are going to push these guys. Some of them are vets. Some of them are young guys as well. Jalen Tolbert, looking at Michael Gallup.
It's going to be players y'all going to get down and lay down.
You're going to get down or you're going to lay down. Another guy. And I'm going to go down this whole list. We talked about TJ Bass. Josh Ball. TJ Bass. Looking at Josh Ball like get down or lay down. Jabril Cox. Devin Harper and Malik Jefferson trying to make this team. They in that room like...
It's going to be players y'all going to get down and lay down.
Got to get down and lay down, man. And then obviously Peyton Hendershot. John Stevens ain't going nowhere. You know? And here's the thing about this. You could argue Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup has a contract or whatnot. He's pretty safe. It would have to take an injury or absolutely terrible play. Hendershot's an undrafted free agent. Simi Fehoko, Jalen Brooks, 5th round pick, 7th round pick. Your 5th round pick status means nothing. Jabril Cox, 4th round pick 3 years ago. Harper's a 6th round pick. That means nothing. So either you step up or step out. Or in the words of Beans,
it's going to be players y'all going to get down and lay down.
Get down or lay down. So, Slim, I wanted to specifically call you out here because I give you a hard time. And when you brought up about a week out, it was like a week of camp, and you said, Jalen Tolbert's wide receiver 3. I don't care what y'all say. Shut up, Sky. I said, man, slow the hell down. There ain't no damn wide receiver 3. But if he pushes himself there, we'll have a conversation. He pushing, man. He pushing. If I'm gonna give y'all a hard time, I gotta definitely say, hey man, you called that one a little bit. And I'm not saying he's wide receiver 3, but he's definitely putting the pressure on Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup said he's putting the pressure on Michael Gallup. I mean, how can you refute that? How can you refute that? And you want that. You want these guys to push those in front of them because it makes the team better. That was really my main argument. Too many times we want to pit people against each other so we can be right. In reality, you're missing the main point. This is going to make this squad better. We don't want Tolbert to elevate because Michael Gallup sucks. We want Tolbert to elevate because Michael Gallup is going out there and he's trying to ball out, and he is balling out, but Tolbert's balling out more. Tolbert going crazy. He going crazy right now, man. All right, yeah, Dennis Houston had a good couple days at camp, had a good game as well. I don't know that Dennis Houston going to make this roster, but he's pushing, you know. He's having a good camp. It's going to be some tough cut downs. Although a lot of the times when this happens, guys get cut and people assume they won't make it on the roster, make it through waiver wires. We do this every year. Some of these guys will be back, 100%. All right, let's hit these phone lines right quick, and we'll get to Deshaun. He was first up on the list. What's good, Deshaun?
All right, what up? So I got 3 quick points. Also, shout out to COF Sports. He's like in the chat and everything. He's the one that actually called October 1st. Yeah. So for one, all right, Zach Martin. So I'm happy. I'm excited, but I'm kind of irritated too. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason I'm kind of irritated is because everybody on the Cowboys panel saw that we needed a guard.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, the second round. And I'm not trying to like crap on a man. The second round, Luke was not supposed to have been the pick right there. And the reason why I feel like this is why Cowboys get themselves into bad situations, because they don't plug up the holes they need to plug up. Because if we, be honest with you, me personally, Scott, if we would have got a guard that's very competent, he didn't need to be a Zach Martin. I don't think Zach would have did the thing he did at that time. That's my personal opinion. But hopefully they kind of work on that, because my next concern is going to be Tyron Smith, because now if he gets injured, then you have to bring him into the, like I said, plugging these holes up early, trying to figure this out. Scott Vox has this meaning that always draft offensive line each round to like build up competition. This is why, because if you don't, you get
you mean each year, right? You mean draft O lineman each year, not each round.
No, not each round, but a year. Like you can't wait for the 5th pick to try to say, "Hey, let's go get an offensive line." Like
yes, you
on
can.
Richards, but
you can. You absolutely can. The problem, absolutely, you don't take an offensive lineman in the 1st and 2nd round every single year. That's just ridiculous. You gotta be able to develop these guys. This year, though, the difference is this year, you 100% probably should have took one earlier than the 5th round. Like that, and then definitely when I was on the train of just keep what's the name at left tackle as opposed to bringing back Tyron Smith and counting on him, then boom, plug in your left guard with your draft pick. But yeah, you can draft guys in day 2 and day 3 of the draft and develop them. You absolutely should. You can't if you take an offensive lineman every year in the 1st or 2nd round, bro. You're going to be missing out on a lot of good players.
Yeah, I wouldn't think about the 2nd round, but at least getting me into like at least the 4th at least. I say
they did
like nothing too crazy. You don't have to be nothing.
They did.
Too out.
Tyler Biadasz is a 4th round pick. You know who else is a 4th round pick? I mean, this is why there's no exact science to this. You know who else is a 4th round pick?
Who?
Josh Ball. Just saying.
Okay, let me hear you.
Just saying, yo.
Let me hear you get that second point. Let me hear you get that second point. So, second, the competition. I love that there's more competition this year than last year. Last year, it kind of just felt like if you hear, you're here. Now it's kind of more of pushing people. Now it's more of kind of making people get out of their uncomfortable zone. Like, you better step up or step out. Simple as that. And that I love that. I love
get
the
down and lay
competition
down.
is. And now, let me talk to you. So, now at the end of the day, it's going to come down to players making plays. And me personally, I feel like the preseason is going to tell a lot in the sense of I kind of need to see our receivers get more kind of involved because last game I couldn't see it because the offensive line kept getting they ass beat all day long.
Well, to be fair,
hopefully.
To be fair, when I did my my list the other day, one of the things was that it was like, hey, I want to see more production from the wide receiver room, and low key we did. Like low key, the amount of yardage that these guys got in first game outdid the amount of yardage some of them got in the entire preseason last year. So I think they're already marching in the right step or in the right direction right now, and that should only get better the more and more they're out there in game. With game time bullets flowing, and these quarterbacks kind of get better while they're out there playing. But they're already in that direction. They've put out better production in the first preseason game than they did all of last year combined, bro.
And then my last point was save Micah from Micah. I know a lot of times Micah is full throttling, but the last thing you want is for game 1 to come and Micah's not there. That's the last thing you want. I know it might not be a serious injury, but like I said, that injury stuff can build on top of it, and that's the kind of last thing we want.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, Deshaun.
Appreciate it.
Let me say this, too, because I don't want this to get mistaken. There's enough food on the table for everybody to eat in the wide receiver room. When I say everybody, I mean the top 4 wide receivers, I think, can all have some type of role in this offense to where you come out of this, and let's say everybody stays healthy, right? Let's just say everybody stays healthy. Will Tolbert have a Cedric Wilson year? Probably not. You know, if everybody's healthy and playing at the level that they can play to their talents, you're going to have the big 3. Then you'll have 4th and 5th receiver chip in here and there. But like we said going into this thing, Tolbert can show immense growth, but the production might not be crazy. Wild thing is the only production he needs is like 5 receptions, 80 yards, and that is better than what he did last year. But I think he'll have more than that. I do. I think he'll if let's just say everybody stays healthy, I definitely can see him in that 20 reception range, you know, which doesn't sound like a whole lot and probably won't be a whole lot to anybody. But for Jalen Tolbert, going off of what happened last year, that would be a major step because he's already taken that step. Now he just has to produce out on the field. And I saw somebody say, hey, you know, I'm not ready yet. I'm not sold. I got to wait to the regular season. Hey, I get it. I get it. Wait and see. That's kind of with a lot of players, but there are some things that you can take a look at from a film standpoint or just watch them play and say, hey, look, these things are improved. These things can translate. Route running translates. Going up and getting the rock, that translates. Being confident translates. Because all those other things weren't there last year, and that translated in a negative way, right? He was not confident. He couldn't run his routes crisply because he was thinking too much. He didn't even know where to line up. So I get wanting to wait to see where the production can be, but Jalen Tolbert is better, y'all. He's just a better player, man. And if he gets a chance, I think he'll show that in the regular season. Let's get one of the OGs on the horn here, man. B Bird, what's good, bro?
Hey, what's up, Scott? How you doing, brother?
Real good, man. Real good.
Hey, so I think what on the Gallup and Tolbert thing, I think what you have is Gallup and his contract versus Tolbert and his potential production. I think Gallup right now, isn't he the highest paid wide receiver on our team?
He up there. He's up there, but the contract plays some part of it for sure, right? For sure. But even if he didn't have this crazy contract, he has the production in the league. I think that puts him up there. If Michael Gallup had 3 years of what Jalen Tolbert did last year, this wouldn't even be we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But Michael Gallup showed you as a wide receiver 2 or as a third wheel, I can be productive in this offense or with this quarterback. So I do think he has kind of a seniority thing going on, a resume thing going on, but the contract definitely plays a factor. I'm not going to deny that.
And as far as Tolbert is concerned, last year I was down on him, but it wasn't necessarily for Tolbert. It's because I think what happened is last year the Joneses were trying to cover for the Amari Cooper trade debacle, and so they put a lot on him, pumping him up, pumping him up, and this, that, and other. But in a sense, I've always thought that you have a kid from University of South Alabama that had not played a lot of football, give him time to grow, but they kind of put him out there and try to put a lot on him because it just kind of backfired. So I always thought that they could have just brought him along a little slower, but I think they were trying to cover their behinds by, again, the bad Amari Cooper trade. And so they put a lot on him, and he wasn't ready for it. So now he kind of understands what it is to be a pro. He is, they're simplifying the offense. Now he's able to do what he naturally does without having all the other things on him. So I think it's going to be a positive. Yeah.
It's a smart kid. This is a kid that came into South Alabama from high school, didn't play a whole lot of receiver at high school. First year, he was like, whoa. He was taken back, culture shock. This is a different level. But then he, got in the film room, learned the position, got better at his craft, and then next thing you know, boom, he's breaking records at South Alabama. I think the same thing happened in the league. South Alabama's different from the league. He gets to the league first year, whoa. I'm culture shock. I'm not really sure how to do some of these things. It's overwhelming. But then he puts in the work. He gets in the film room. He takes the notes. We heard Schottenheimer talk about the notes, and he's now putting the mental side to his physical side, and we know he's got that ability, and it's all there out in front of him.
So this is my last point, man. It's kind of a little bit off topic, but I think y'all talked about it the other day as far as Dak criticism in the media. One of the things I would tell y'all is that as far as, like somebody said that, man, he's getting criticized more than Romo. Well, you got to understand that social media has grown more than it was when it was Romo. And these people are craving for clicks, man. And so the Cowboys are the most popular team in the world. And, they're polarizing, man. Either you love them or you hate them. It's not like the Kansas City Chiefs, either you love them or you kind of don't like them or, something like that. You have a definite feeling for the Cowboys. Either you love them or you hate them. So long as you have a feeling for them, then it's no different than being a heel wrestler. People say, oh, I hate him. Yeah, but you want to see him lose. And so you're going to go to see him. And so you got to be – the thing I like about this whole YouTube community, y'all content creators, is that most people that tune in here and you guys, even amongst Cowboy fans locally that y'all friends with, we are the biggest ones out of our little Cowboy fandom, the people that we deal with, our friends or whatever. The thing is now, man, is that we have more information, even with the internet. We don't have to go out there. I don't listen to people, even my friends, man, that I was Cowboy fans a long time ago. If they come back and they repeat generic things that Skip and Shannon or Stephen A say, then I'll stop listening to them, man, because it's a lot of information out here right now. You're just being lazy, not going to get it. And so I don't know if you ever kind of puts me in the mind of if anybody ever saw that movie Idiocracy. Yeah. It kind of puts me in that mind
that's
that
crazy you say that.
When you're a Cowboy fan and you're tapped into you guys and you're going to find research, then when you talk to somebody that says, well, man, Dak threw too many interceptions, I just look at them and just say, we're not even going to talk about sports anymore because you don't bother to go in and find out context.
Right.
And I say, I cannot talk to somebody that has the information available but just won't go do it.
Yep.
And so, man, it's tough being a Cowboy fan, but I will not listen to ESPN. I will not listen to your Fox FS1. I just don't even tune in anymore because they're not trying to give you actual news. They're trying to do what Shady does. Yeah, they're trying to get eyes, man. And what they're doing is, man, they pimping themselves out for ears and eyes. And I'm not going to be part of it, man. I don't even click on any of the stuff on I don't even give them clicks, and I definitely don't give them any kind of ratings on viewership anymore because I don't have to, because you're going to get the real from Sky. You're going to get the real from Boss. You're going to get the real from Landlord, you know what I'm saying, from Botch. You're going to get the real from you guys, and that's what we need to be focused on, man. So anybody ever talk to me about sports, say anything about Skip Shannon or anything about ESPN, the conversation is going to end at that point in time. But that's all I got to say, man. I just wanted to say that. I appreciate you giving me the time to do that, man. I appreciate you. I'll continue listening.
Always, B-Bird. Appreciate you, big dog. Yeah, he's become a litmus test, right? And I'm with you. And honestly, I just stopped the fights on social media anymore because it's nauseating now. It's no one wants to really talk the game. It's just the shock jock value, right? And the troll. Like, trolling is now a real thing, like, on the internet. You used to be able to joke and troll with your friends and whatnot, and some of your rivals and whatnot. But now, like, people quite literally make social media to troll. Hide behind, it used to be an egg. Now it's some random picture just to troll. And just like 5 years ago, I used to take pride in doing the nuance and the details on, at one point, Facebook. I really wasn't Twitter or like that. And then that got like, whoa, Facebook got crazy. So I don't even fool with Facebook that much. My bad, Facebook. But now it's come over to Twitter, where you can't really have football conversations on Twitter. But again, the Tony Romo thing is what really got me to want to cover this team in a certain way, because I didn't think we were being covered the right way. It was just about shock, jock, and value. And you said it, it's carried over now here with Dak. It's laziness. It's really lazy analysis, if you even want to call it that. When it's just, oh, Dak sucks. If that's how I can tell. Oh, you right, bro. Hey, appreciate you, man. Salute. And I keep it moving. I'm not about. You're never going to change a Dak sucks guy's mind or Dak is mid guy's mind, because they don't care. They don't care about context. They don't care to watch film. They don't care to watch or listen or study or anything. It's just, well, he didn't win the Super Bowl. Dak sucks. So, I'll let y'all deal with all that. A couple more notes from camp. In fact, we're going to go to Kyle Yeomans. That ain't the notes. Here on Twitter. Kyle Yeomans practice notes number 11. Pass rush looked fresh after a few days. Tolbert, Gallup, and Cooks all made great grabs. The secondary ruled in the red zone on one-on-ones. I did see a couple clips of Trayvon Diggs. He was definitely in tight coverage down there. D-Law was extra active in pass rush. I feel like D-Law is getting wound up in a good way. Like, he's just maybe we might see D-Law go crazy this year. Just think about it for a second, man. He's got the interior now for the first time. He's had this type of interior where you're going to get some push. Micah and Sam and DA and Dante. You can pay attention to D-Law if you want. They going to eat. They are going to eat. But when Micah is on the opposite side, I'm just saying, D-Law, I'm not talking about no sack records or anything like that for the Cowboys in total, but the Cowboys might exceed their sack total of last year. I'm going to just say that. And he could have a big say in that. 8 to 10 sacks would not shock me. And I know he's not a sack guy anymore, but I think he can get that. Deuce Vaughn saw extra reps with the starters, as he should. And DeMarvion Overshown flew around. He had a nice tackle for loss where he showed that speed, man. He showed that explosiveness. So Demo, WM Demo, is continuing to build off of his first game out there on Saturday. All right, let's get back into these phone lines. We got some numbers I'm not familiar with here. We got 912, what it is.
Hey, what's going on, Will? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, I love the fact that you was just talking about Demo, man. I said that you would love DeMarvion. He wasn't really a project. I mean, every player is a project, though. He can get better. But, yeah, I just knew he was going to be ready to plug in and play. what I really wanted to talk about though was cuts. Do you honestly think that Cavante Turpin is going to make this roster based on the fact that an explosive punt returner, kick returner is really about the only thing he's going to do for you, and we got that in Deuce Vaughn.
I don't think they're going to put Deuce Vaughn back there. I think they're trying to see him do it in camp, but the fact that we didn't see him do it in the game, now unless he does it this week, that changes. But I haven't seen him out there doing it in the game, so I can't say that's what he's going to do just yet. But there was a point in time where I was like, hey, and I'm still there because I'm not going to have one game to change my mind. From a special team standpoint, he's going to make this roster. Now, if he goes out there and he fumbles the ball again, that's a conversation you're going to have, man.
It just seems to me. It just seems like that's a lot to give up. One roster spot. For a retirement when you got a roster as loaded as ours. When you could carry an extra running back, you could carry an extra tight end.
I'd rather carry an extra receiver, to be honest. But he's got to show a little bit more from a receiver standpoint. And he did some good things, but he did some. There's some teach tape. Mike McCarthy talked about. There's some things out there. That he's going to grow on. But he was more active in this game from a receiver standpoint than I saw last year. He was involved in certain concepts. So there was actually some good things from a wide receiver standpoint in the game. We probably just need to see him do a Jalen Tolbert game, right? Score a touchdown, make somebody miss, catch a screen. All it's going to take is like one or two catches for him to kind of, I think, gain Cowboys Nation's confidence from a wide receiver standpoint. But now I'm not ready to boot him off the team from the preseason game.
Right. And I have a feeling that we might be witnessing the greatest defense to ever touch a football field this year. Because just the depth,
your mouth to football guys' ears.
Man, we got some Spartans on this team. You know what I mean when I say Spartans. You remember the movie 300 where they was waiting on the op and they was trying to see how they was going to slide on them, and they looked at the guys from the other Greek city, and that guy told him, said, you bring so few, and he said, you there, what do you do for a living? He said, I'm a baker. He said, what about you? What do you do for a living? He said, I'm a blacksmith. And he said, Spartans, what is your occupation? And they said, ooh, that's our defense. Spartans. Yeah.
I mean, I hope we have, would you call it the best defense in the history of football?
Yeah.
I hope you're right, sir.
It could potentially be that. I mean, I ain't trying to, hype everybody up and get your hopes down. Like, it's
I'll just start with this. I think it's going to be one of the best 2 or 3 defenses in the league. Anything more than that is icing on the cake.
I want number 1, Will.
Fine. I mean, that's literally one of the best 2 or 3 defenses. So if it's number 1, it's number 1. But I mean,
yes, sir.
Bro, I mean, I heard this last year. I forget which caller came on here and said, "Man, this is going to be better than the '85 Bears." And I was like, "Can we relax a little bit here, man?"
Oh, we wouldn't quite there. I think we're there now, though.
Can we see them play, man? Can we see them play before we make them the '85 Bears and the 2000 Ravens? Like, I would love for them to be that. They got the potential to be the best defense in the league, but we're talking about all-time defenses without seeing a single damn play. Wow, man.
Yeah. We talking about like some 05 Ravens, some 2000 Bucks. Like you said, 85 Bears.
I know that's what y'all talking about. I ain't ready to go there just yet.
This the 2023 Cowboys, baby.
Yeah. Let's be that. There you go. Let's be the 2023 Cowboys first. Let's see where that falls in line. Because you know what those defenses did? Those defenses ran through the playoffs. Those defenses broke mad records from a scoring standpoint. You couldn't run on them. You couldn't pass on them. You couldn't do none of that. And in this league, it's tough to be that type of defense. So let's just wait and see them be the best defense first before they the best defense ever step on the field.
Yeah, and I heard Mike in that interview. There's no doubt in my mind that man is working harder than anybody. Michael Parsons.
Sure.
Man, he don't want to be just a Hall of Famer. He wants to be like the Tom Brady of defense.
He wants to be the best Hall of Famer. That's what he said.
He wants to be the greatest there ever was. And, if he's going to put his best foot forward, he's pushing them other guys. you know. And I mean, you got DeMarvion, you got D-Law, we got Big Mozzie. It's like on every level. It's like you got to see me. Like I ain't rolling up by myself. I got the whole crew with me. We going down. But
Yeah.
but
Hey,
yeah,
man, appreciate the
good
call,
show,
good
man.
brother.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Sports is wild. Like, sports fandom is crazy. The 85 Bears will get smoked in today's game. Joe, this ain't 1985. It's 2023. There's a lot of people, greats of all time greats, that probably would get rocked in today's game across the. What are we doing? They get smoked. The 85 Bears is one of the greatest defenses in any sport ever, man. Let's not do that. Let's not do that, bro. Let's not do that. We gotta relax. But yeah, man, if Kevontae Turpin, because I think he's gonna return. Mike McCarthy. Here's the thing. This is what I heard the other day. I don't know if y'all noticed this. They asked him about Kevontae Turpin in the returning situation, and Mike said, "Well, look, he was supposed to fair catch. He was supposed to wave that hand and fair catch, but he got caught up in the emotions or whatnot and tried to take off, and he fumbled. And that's probably why you saw Kevontae Turpin go, damn. He did the opposite of what Tavon Austin did. Tavon Austin did a couple years ago. But Mike McCarthy said, oh, he returned it in this game. That made me say, oh, okay. And that's why I told the caller, look, you ain't going to cut him from the first preseason game, but if he goes out there and he does that again, oh, you 100% going in that room saying, hey, Terp, you want to chop and block, bruh. You want to chop and block. Because, look, you're going to be primarily a returner. You're going to play some snaps at receiver if you show your worth. But you're going to be primarily a returner. And if you can't catch the rock or hold on to the rock as a returner, not going to be here. You know? So yeah, there's pressure now. And that's his fault. All he had to do was fair catch that thing. If he fair catches the rock, no one's having this conversation. I don't even know why he did that. You got 2 punt returns in preseason last year. You went to the Pro Bowl as a punt returner last year in a regular season. You had some good returns. You muffed a few, but you had some good returns as well. Just let your resume speak for itself on that side of the ball. You should have been out there trying to do your best work as a receiver, but that's neither here nor there. Yes, sir, Lawrence. Do your job. 904. What it do?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm good.
All right. Hey, this is what I want to. I just got a few things I want to say on there. You got the Tober is doing very fine, and I think it should be an improvement with Gallup this year, since he was he was partially injured last year, so he should be fine.
Yeah.
And then, like on the offensive line, okay, so I'm glad that Zach Martin is back. So now we can gel as a unit.
Yep, yeah, man. Yeah, getting Zach back is definitely great for this offensive line, brother. Like I said at the top of the show, I think having Terrence Steele and Zach Martin on that right side is a dynamic duo, man.
Man, and that's awesome, man. I tell you. And then just hopefully that with on the opposite side, we don't know, it's still undecided if we're going to keep Tyron Smith over there or Tyler Smith.
Yeah. This year, Tyron Smith will be the left tackle until the inevitable happens, and you'll probably see Tyler kick out there. I'm not quite ready to. There is no left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Awesome Richards, I told you, I would like to see Awesome stick at left tackle, but I don't know if he's ready to just come in there and be a starter for like 10 games. But yeah.
No,
hey,
you just keep him ready at the left guard position, and he should be okay until Tyron Smith get ready to ride out to the sunset.
Sure, man. Sure.
That's what I truly believe.
Yep.
But then on the defense, I just think they should just go ahead and let Parsons just rest throughout the rest of the preseason and be ready for game 1. Because that's priority right there.
Like, you don't want him to practice?
Well, you can practice, but, kind of keep it at a limit. Because we don't want no injuries.
I mean, if he hurt.
Towards that game 1.
Yeah, you're right. If he hurt, you limit him. But if he good to go, he's good to go. Hey, appreciate the call, though, sir. Thank you for calling in.
What was that again?
I said appreciate the call, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, no doubt, man. And you be blessed, man, and take care of yourself. And hopefully I can get back on there with when you and I can't even think of his name right now, Bosh. Yeah, y'all had me rolling yesterday.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my bro. All right, salute. Let's get 757. What's good, 757? Oh Lord. Oh, there you go.
Hello. What's going on, man?
You're very low, but what's up? Can you speak up a little bit?
Oh, can you hear me?
It's low, but I'll turn you up if I can. Yeah, what's up?
Crap. 1 second. All right, can you hear me better now?
Sure, yeah.
All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it short. So, just as far as Micah goes, just like the last person said, I know he said a limited practice, but I don't think he should practice at all anymore, man. Unless we're talking walkthroughs so he can know the play. And yeah, basically just walkthroughs, man. Just walkthroughs. Preseason games is out the question.
Oh yeah. Not
for him right now. Yeah, no. I don't want to see him one snap in preseason.
No, it's not happening.
The only person I want to see play preseason, only two people I want to see play preseason that they deemed out was Dak Prescott, and I also want to see Zach Martin.
Wait,
as well. I'm going hard on Zach. Because he played.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Micah sit his ass down, but your franchise quarterback and your Hall of Fame guard who just missed all of damn training camp in Oxnard, basically. You want them out there at preseason.
You know what? After he went to contractual war with my boy Jerry Jones,
yeah,
I do want to see him out there.
Okay, so
I want to see if he works.
If you do that and Micah's healthy, then damn it, why not just play all your starters? That's the point.
Well, if Zach Martin and Dak is out there in preseason, I expect the whole starting O-line
there we go.
To be out there.
Because I damn sure ain't walking Dak out there behind Josh Ball and Matt Walesko and Brock Hoffman and Matt Forniak and no. So if you want to play Dak and you want to play Zach, then damn it, you better play Tyron. You better play Tyler. Well, I don't know about Tyron. We know Tyron can get. You better play Terrence. You better play Biotish. You better put your starting line out there, bro. Because if you get your quarterback hurt behind a backup makeshift offensive line for the sake of 2 series in the preseason.
Yeah, I just want to see him for like maybe 1 or 2 series. Honestly, I don't really need to see him too, especially if they move the ball well. Then I'll be like, you know what, sit down. We don't want to risk anything. But when you go to contractual war with Jerry Jones, my guy Jerry Jones, you got to show something. You got to show something because Jerry was pushing. He telling you, he's just being honest. He's just being honest. Hey, look, man, this money right here, we got to pay this to Michael Parsons in the future. But you sat there, you've been here, you've been getting paid top dollar for the past.
Who's hot
what,
at the top?
5-6 years.
Let me ask you a question. You said he got to show. What do you expect? Future first ballot Hall of Famer, 8-time All-Pro Zach Martin. What do you want him to show? What do you mean by that?
I want to make sure he's not out of shape from missing all this time. Because even though I believe personally that he would keep up with himself at this time, but we also believe the same thing with Ezekiel Elliott when we had to pay him, and then each year. It just kept dropping. It just kept dropping. It just kept his production just kept dropping. But so, I don't, as an O-lineman, I believe that he'll be able to keep up with himself.
Yeah.
I just do, man. It's really to me it's the fact that you're getting two years fully guaranteed, $18 million after we already front loaded you on your original contract.
You got an issue with him getting paid. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like the way he did it, man. I don't like when people did like Randy Gregory. I don't like the way you guys put this clause in we put this clause in your goddamn contract because your ass been smoking weed and you've been missing. Dog, we done had Randy Gregory for like 3-4 years. He done missed 3-4 years off of suspension for the same shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you don't feel like we're doing a good thing in your contract because we can put a little clause. Hell yeah, we can put something in there because we want to make sure your ass don't get suspended while this shit going down. I hate when people go to war with Jerry with the contracts,
Apples,
man.
Oranges, but yeah.
I just don't like it.
You don't like it? Well, you won't ever find me backing some damn billionaire owners that can cut you at the drop of the dime and not give you nothing. So, but yeah, man, look,
now
it's got resolved. He's here. It's hypothetical now, right? As Mike McCarthy would say.
Yeah.
He got his bread. He ain't break no records or nothing like that. I thought it was a pretty good deal if you ask me, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I look at our roster, man. I feel fully confident.
In closing,
this season. Yeah, I feel fully confident this season, man. I feel like we got the interior D linemen. We got the outside rushers. We have an okay linebacking core, which will grow and get better because they're super young. They're all of them. Between Micah, Overshown, Clark, everybody is super young. And then you already know the backfield is covered. I trust in Dak to go back to rookie Dak. And even though they called you check down Dak or whatever the hell Shannon Sharp used to call you, you was winning goddamn games doing that. It's not a bad thing. So I'm just ready for the season to start and for this preseason. The second preseason game so I can get a better look at everything, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate the call.
All right, thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Salute. Let me tell you something about playing your guys, your quarterback at the least. You don't run your quarterback out there with a backup line. You don't. So if you want to see Dak Prescott out there in preseason, you have to run out your starting line. You have to. Like back in the day, yeah, it was customary to do preseason games because that's just the way it was. And you see certain teams run out their guys, but they're not running out their guys behind Awesome Richards, Brock Hoffman, TJ Bass, Josh Ball, Matt Waletzko, Matt Fournier. You're not rolling them out there behind that. Let me just give you an example. Did you see the offensive line blocking for the quarterbacks on Saturday? You wanted to put Dak behind that. Not you, caller, but there's people that say Dak Prescott should be out there. Because you were with me. You said, hey, no. You put him out there with the starting offensive line. So sure, we want to put him out there, cool. Well, then you better run everybody else back out. Because you're a fool if you want to put him behind that starting offensive line and risk the injury that you would get. That's 5 sacks or whatever it was? Yeah, all right. I'm not doing none of that. I ain't doing none of that. All right, 209. You got to fight.
Hey, what's going on, Scott?
You got to fight to finish.
Hey, not much.
What's up?
Hey, that's okay. Real quick, I just wanted to say just a couple of quick things that I noticed during the game because I didn't get a chance to call you yesterday. But I'll tell you what, man, Deuce is definitely as good as advertised. I'll tell you that. I like what I saw. Real quick, I'm just going to touch on just a couple quick things. Let me ask you 2 questions. Let me just put it this way, because I don't want to be the homer in the room because, I don't know a lot about these 2 new guys. But if Micah is going to be on the defensive end spot all the time now, from what it looks like, do you think Damone Clark, which I like what I saw, and Overshown seems to be like he's going to be a diamond in the rough, do you think those 2 can step in and just do what Micah was doing when we first drafted him?
What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean is I think, if I heard correctly, is that Micah is going to be more rushing the passer, I think, more than linebacker, I think. Is that true? I believe I heard that somewhere.
Well, I mean, you ain't heard it. You saw it. You saw him 80% of his snaps on the defensive line last year, and he's probably going to play a lot of defensive end. But, You said, can they be what Micah was his rookie year? Well, Micah had 13 and a
Well,
half sacks.
they're not going to be Micah, but can they fill his role that he was, I think, drafted to do for, I think be like a linebacker.
Can they be a linebacker? I mean,
yeah, that's kind of what I was referring to. Yeah,
I've told you before, Damone Clark, I think he's going to be like that. I think he's going to be the eventual middle linebacker of this team.
I saw some of Vach's tape, and let me tell you, he definitely closed the gap quickly on that one dude that thought he had all that space. I like that.
Yeah.
And then real quick, though, I want to say this, too. Zach Martin, that was just inevitable, man. I mean, Josh Ball reminded me of if you remember back in the day, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, reminded me of Chaz Green. I mean, that was just an accident, man. I'm sorry. I'm glad we signed Zach Martin. But, yeah, so the only other thing I was going to say, too, to somebody else who called, I don't think that it's probably going to be the greatest defense ever, but I think we can potentially be the best defense in the league this year. Oh, yeah. I want to take baby steps with that. I think it could be the best in the league, but I'm not ready to, to crown them all time just yet.
Yeah.
But I like the way things are going. Oh, one last piece. I think it's Jalen Tolbert, man. Watch out.
Yeah.
We could have the best wide receiving core in the league this year if everybody just feeds off everybody. I like it.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that real quick before I leave?
Yeah. Well, which one? The thoughts on best wide receiver core or just Jalen Tolbert?
Yes. I believe that we could have the best wide receiving core. Your thoughts on that real quick?
I mean, look, I said this could be a top 5 receiving core if Michael Gallup is back to Michael Gallup. So if you say Michael Gallup is back to Michael Gallup, and then you add Jalen and say Jalen Tolbert is like that, right? Then, I mean,
I'm referring to if Tolbert continues to go the way he's going, and Gallup feeds off of that and goes into the potential that we thought he could do, and maybe a wee bit more. You already got Cooks as being Cooks, and Lamb's already going to be CD. Sure. So what I'm basing it off of is.
It's again. I think it's a top. I think it could be a top 5 core if you got Gallup is healthy and then Tolbert is continuing to carry over his.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not ready to say number one. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that catch in the back of the end zone there in practice, I saw that on your live stream. Man, damn, and then to plant that too, and that was sick. That was sick. I saw that, and that was sick. So, but hey, man, as always, I like your guys' show. I like your show. And real quick, when do you and Voch go on? I'm sorry, I've been trying to catch you guys live. When do you guys go on Central Time?
I'll say 3:15. We're usually in the green room about.
Well,
3
anyway, as
o'clock,
always, man, you and Voch are the best 2 YouTubers as far as what I watch. I like your guys' content. I'm 53 years old. I've been a Cowboy fan for 40 years. I don't know everything. Every day between you two, I've learned something.
Yeah, I learn something every day too, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Bye.
I'm gonna go back, finish what he was talking about with the linebackers. I'm surprised he didn't say anything about LV either. But so Micah came in to do linebacker things. So if he's saying they replace the linebacker role that Micah was drafted to be? Yeah, y'all know how I feel about Damone Clark. And DeMarvion Overshown is showing, his prowess as a linebacker. So, yeah, I mean, look, I said this the other day. I think Demo, I actually said it when he got drafted. I think Demo and Damone Clark are the future at the position. It's just a matter of when that future begins. And that's why LV has to stay healthy. But, yeah, Micah got out to the queue right away, right? Like, second game. They said, oh, you can do that? Come on, good sir. And not only did he get after the queue, he was getting after the queue at a high level, and he was playing linebacker at a high level. There's nobody on the roster I think is going to be able to do that in the same manner. But from linebacker things, yeah, I think Damone Clark, DeMarvion Overshown give you some confidence. Now, again, they got to go out there next week or this Saturday, continue to stack, right? Continue to build that. So once you get to the regular season, we're not kind of worried. We was worried last year. That's why they went out and got Anthony Barr. All right, let's get to some of these super chats. Y'all ain't writing this chat.
Super chat.
My guy Caustic, salute to you. Dropped a couple. Said, "Oh, wait a minute, that's you." So did Mo? How did this happen? He said, "Mo, love the show. Thanks for what you do." How did that happen? Was Mo live at like 12 in the morning yesterday or something? Interesting. Don't know how that happened, Caustic. My bad, brother. But yeah, I'll read the super chat for you if Mo did. He says, "Mo, love the show. Thanks for everything you do." Danny said Micah bulked up to rush the passer, not drop back in coverage. Yeah, he'll do some coverage things, but he ain't gonna be a lot. I think we'll see similar numbers. If it ain't 80%, what, 77, 75? Like I don't see Micah Parsons doing a whole bunch of linebacker things this year. If Damone Clark, LVE stays healthy, Demo, right? These guys show that they can handle it. Yeah, I don't see that happen. I mean, Will, again, we go back and forth, but I'm 100% about this too. And that's why I've been kind of, I hate to put a wet blanket on the excitement of things. But he said, I don't really care about having the best defense ever. I just want to win a title. That's how I am. Like, let's start with, hey, can we have the best defense in the league? I do think having the best defense in the league helps you get there, obviously. But the best defense ever, you don't need to have the best defense ever. Just like we don't need to have the best offense ever, or even in the league this year. But it is fun to have all these parts. These are young parts too. A lot of these young parts that are going to help this defense for sure. But I don't know, man. I just, as a Cowboy fan, I think I'm jaded because I've heard this too many times in the sense of, well, we're going to be the best this, or we're going to da-da-da. Hey, man, you got to have some room. And a little bit of realism. Now, the defense, I actually give y'all a little bit more room on the defense because we're seeing some progression from a statistical standpoint, and the talent is growing. But, whew, the best ever talk is kind of crazy a little bit. It's kind of crazy. All right, that'll do it for today's show. Good stuff. Tomorrow we pick things back up with the scientific method.
Yes, science.
You got Patrick No C Walker coming through, giving us his boots on the ground take of what's happening down there at training camp and some inside information as well. If you enjoyed the show, as always, on your way out, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. It our virtual currency, right? It's our virtual currency. It will help get this thing out here. We're continuing to grow. The morning shows are starting to hit a K pretty much, which I think during the regular season it's going to be like that. And I think it's because you guys are helping get it out there. And if you get that out there, we continue to grow on our side, and I'm gonna continue to put in 110% to it. My lady had to drag me out the studio yesterday. Come get some sleep. Like, nah, man, I want to put this. I'll be there, but I want to put this show together for the Bomb Squad, man, because they show up every day. They go hard, so I feel like I need to as well. Subscribe as well. If you are new, I know there's a lot of different people here now. If you kind of jumping in and you're digging the vibe of the show, subscribe. It's only going to get better during the regular season. Hit the notification bell. We'll have some videos dropping as well. And then Mauricio, he does his primetime show around 8 p.m. Central here on the channel, on Twitter, as well as Facebook. So appreciate you guys for being here, Bomb Squad. I will be back on the Voss Lombardi live show. I had some family things to take care of, but then Thursday I won't be. There's a lot going on personally, and I will tell you guys all the great news here soon, but we want to make sure we get everything in order prior to that. So appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all really make this thing go a whole lot. With that said, I'm gonna press this button. I'll be back, Shaq. I'll be back. Thank you, Gregory. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, Slim, bookmark this. I'm messing with you, dog. Love y'all to death. Get out of here. Peace. Thank you, Miss Jackie. Shouts out to the Mod Squad.
Bomb Squad!